Good morning. It is 8:45. We start on time around here. Good morning. Good webinar Wednesday morning. Thank you for joining us. We have a very brief presentation. It's 20 minutes. This is a webinar where we're going to go over the program that we provide for association allies, a term that we coined for vendors that want to get in front of CAM and board members in the HOA and COA associations. And by you being here this morning, the program works because we send out invitations, we send out newsletters, we send out marketing to get people to come to a webinar to learn more information to then hopefully work with us. I'm Diane Michael. I have been working in the association management industry for over 10 years. I have Callan Group Communications. It's a marketing agency. It's almost 20 years old. I know you wouldn't be able to tell by looking at me. And I'm so grateful that I got involved in this industry because it has afforded me a lot of business, a lot of opportunities, and a friendship with this beautiful woman, Lindsay Lombardi, who I partnered with on this program almost 2 years ago. Lindsay, do you want to give us your little intro?
Sure. So I have worked with multiple management companies. I've been in the real estate world essentially my entire life. My family was in real estate. I've been a CAM for over 10 years. And through my experience with on-site management of properties, portfolio management, having my own company, I have learned a lot about the world of community associations, and I am working to bring that knowledge to all of you so that you can market your businesses to CAMs and board members and get to be part of their toolbox so that they will call you when they need someone.
Thank you. Okay, next slide. This is our new presentation. So we're gonna be going through it. So what is Beyond the Boardroom? We realized very quickly when Lindsay and I were able to work together a few years ago, very briefly in between one of her properties. She was moving from a management company to an on-site property, and we were able to spend some time together and work together. And we enjoyed working together so much that we decided we got to find a way to constantly work together, and what can we do? And because I've worked with management companies, I've worked with lots of CAMs and lots of vendors that provide home services, and Lindsay understands the challenges that a CAM faces every day and the board members, how they react and what their timeline is in a calendar year. We really complement each other. And so we decided, you know what, these CAMs, they have 15 hours that they need to renew their license by the state of Florida every 2 years. And those 15 continuing education units are not provided easily online, digitally, virtually, for free. And so it's something that we decided could be really beneficial to the CAM and to board members, because in 2025, the state of Florida also requires now board members to have continuing education credits. And so we went out and we started finding all the data, all the lists of CAMs in the state of Florida. We started purchasing lists of board members in the state of Florida. And that is how the partnership between the two of us grew. And it's how the program began 2 years ago. And it's been wildly successful. We now do the webinar Wednesday where we're providing the free education to the CAMs and board members on the second and fourth Wednesdays of every month. We started with just one Wednesday, and eventually we will move into multiple, 3 and 4 Wednesdays with the more vendors that we work with. Okay, anything to add to that on your side?
Not on this one.
Okay, next one. So I like to explain just a refresher to everyone that business is more and more challenging every day, even though we have all these advancements in technology. Being able to keep up with the technology is a full-time job. I know I have a marketing agency, and it's so funny. So people call me digital die. It's a term I put on my signature line, and it's something I've marketed for years. And I don't know how to do half the things that my team knows how to do because it takes so much time and practice and use for technology to really work. And so outsourcing the education program that people, you could easily go to not easily, you could go to DBPR, you could apply, you could create your own courses, you could work with that government agency and see how long it takes you. Whereas when you outsource to someone who's already doing what they know how to do, it's more efficient, it's more timely, and we get you up and rolling quickly. Also, I like to explain to vendors that the demographic is changing from a CAM perspective and a board member perspective. So that CAM that has been feeding you business for 5 years, they still have to report to the board members. And so if they get new board members, which they should be getting, they should be building their bench all the time. Those new board members may say, you know what, I want you to go out and get 3 new bids. We want to reevaluate all of our contracts with all of our vendors. And so, the demographic from the board members of their age is also changing. We see a lot of board members that are our age, and that's just with everything that you do. If your pipeline of opportunities and sales, if some of them are dying, are you filling them back up? I mean, I hate to be morbid in that respect, but you constantly have to be finding avenues and different ways to bring in new business on a regular basis, especially when it's such a competitive market. Good help is hard to find. So often I have clients that, for budget purposes and reactionary reasons, based on the market and sales and quarter, deadlines and or quarter goals, will say, you know what, we have our office manager here. We pay her a good amount of money. So we're just going to have her do the work for us. Well, first off, that's just an old fashioned way of thinking. Adding to people's plates in this day and age it's too much. We all have too much on our plates. And to think that somebody can do the job of someone who actually gets paid professionally to do a job, it's just an old-fashioned way of thinking. Unfortunately, I mean, I don't think it's an unfortunate thing, but it's the way of the world. Is we're in 2026 and people operate like it's 2000, and we're in the 90s in the 20th century. It's like, no, guys, you got to pay to play. You got to market to keep your business in front of people that are going to send you business and give you great opportunities. And this industry is great because it's commercial, and you get one CAM to support you. They might have a portfolio of 10 different properties, and if you do your job right, you might get all 10. So it's more expensive to be participating in this market, but that's why you have to make educated decisions on where you invest your money, and this is an investment that pays dividends. It's competitive out there. I know, just because in the home service industry, I mean, I have competitors that I work with on a regular basis, and we come up with creative, unique, fresh ideas for all so that no two are the same. But it's competitive out there. And nowadays, with the way that the investment is into getting your business in front of the right people, it's more expensive than ever. And if you don't start now and you wait, it's just going to be even more expensive later. And it takes more time to get that foundation and infrastructure that every business should already have. And that's why we created this webinar series, because it's designed to connect you with those decision makers. Lindsay, will you just highlight, I like when you explain your, day in the life of a CAM, your toolbox, and one of 3 bids?
So absolutely. So I'm actually at a property right now hosting this. And you never know what your day is going to hold, right? So my day today was supposed to start off with coming in, doing this webinar, jumping on and checking my emails, jumping onto webinar Wednesday. We have an issue going on right now. So in between, I'll be dealing with that. But we come to
I
work.
know it's like 8:40. I'm like, are you jumping on?
Yeah.
But yes, life of a CAM.
Yes, there's all sorts of lovely things going on here today. But
Yeah.
anyway, so check your email. Your intention is to get to work. Check your email, check your voicemail. See who you need to follow up with immediately, who you can get back with later in the day. And then if you have any property visits you need to do or vendors that you're meeting on property. And then I usually end my day in my office doing the same thing I started, right? Checking my email, following up with all the things that I need to do. So, on a regular day, that's your best, that's your best case scenario. So as a vendor, you're wanting to come in to the office and meet the cam or, see everyone. And the harsh reality is you might, you might have called and said, hey, what days are you in the office? I want to stop by, drop off my card, introduce myself. And I say, hey, Wednesday, come by at 8:30. But then at 8:30, I'm not actually available because I'm dealing with a plumbing leak. So sorry, you're going to have to come back another day or call me. So this is why doing this digitally is so nice, because even if they can't see you in that moment that you're presenting, these are available to be watched on demand. And as a CAM, the biggest thing that I can provide to my properties are my toolbox of vendors. Depending on where your area, what area you're in, there's more or less vendors available, but having reliable ones that this morning I have a plumbing leak. If I pick up the phone and call whomever, they're going to answer and make me a priority. Yesterday we had an AC that was leaking and the water was leaking onto all of our internet equipment. And
Oh,
I called and the AC company finished a job they were at and put me at the front of the line and came right over and dealt with it. So that's the type of people that CAMs want to work with. And getting yourself in front of these CAMs and showing them that you're that person is going to get you the call every time.
and usually a good CAM and good board members want get three bids
Right.
for their services. So we promote to be one of the three, and fight to get that business every time. Okay, let's keep it moving. We've got only less than 10 minutes left. Our database is huge. So it's over 31,000 board members and CAMs across the entire state of Florida. It's constantly being updated. We have our agents out there always grabbing new emails and adding to it. We send a weekly newsletter. I just put the newsletter link in the chat. If you are able to see that, check that out. It's about today's webinar Wednesday that starts at 9:30. If you want to see how the beginning of the program works, 9:30, 9:35 is great. You can see the introduction, and we go over a little bit more with the attendees on what they need to do. But yep, we send out weekly promotions. So your business would go out, your business logo and link to your website would go out once a week to over 31,000 CAMs and board members, promoting your webinar, promoting your course that we would create for you. Okay, next slide.
All right, so I'll do this one. So the process with us is obviously, we'll talk about what you all need and you would get a contract from us. We would get you signed up. And then there's specific information that we need from you about your company in order to get you registered with the DBPR. If you're already have an account, we can use that account that's existing. Some people are already providers. That's great. You can give us that information, then we can just get you a course. But most of the time, you need to be approved as a provider. So we start that application process with you and make sure that you do everything you need to do to get approved as a provider. And we see that through until the provider license is approved. And during that time, we work on getting your 3 courses put together. So we have 2 options for courses. You can do 1 course at a time. We always recommend that you do 3 because it is quite a process and sometimes it takes a little while to get them approved. So you want to go ahead and get a few done at the beginning so that you can pop, get in there and teach different courses every month until you get the next set done. But we follow that process through as well. We give you options for topics to choose from and brief little outlines. You decide which courses you want to put together, which topics you want to use, and then we do all the work. We put together the course, we put together the PowerPoint presentation, we do the application, the certificates, all the things needed. We submit all that to the DBPR to get your course approved, and again, follow that through to approval. And then as soon as you have your first course approved, we get you scheduled for a webinar Wednesday. So Really, as far as you're concerned, there's a list of information that we need from you, and then we need you to approve topics, and then you're kind of hands off. We'll send you the PowerPoints. We put together a nice PowerPoint, but there's not a whole lot of detailed information. And then you, as the provider, can go in and add pictures or, more details to those PowerPoints before your presentation once the basic topics in the PowerPoint are approved.
We do have some people that just do it just like basically
Yeah,
the PowerPoint is just
exactly.
like this. It's a simple branded, but your content is what is going to attract CAMs to want to work with you. Um,
Exactly.
so yep, so she went over all of this, all of the things that are combined in the program. I mean, it really is a hands-off process for you after we just get, the resume information for you and get you into the DBPR's database. And it's interesting what Lindsay has seen working with the DBPR government agency over here. They work for us, but do they really?
Yeah.
They think that, well, I won't go there. But what she has seen is that they require different things for different vendors, and that's not the way it works. This is, even for whatever business you're in, you the state of Florida guidelines are the guidelines, period. But you know what? They are interesting to work with. And so having someone who is responsible to make sure that everything keeps moving is the key. I think we all know this in our business, not me, because I have people that do the work for, I pay everything we sell, we do ourselves. Like I don't sell services that we don't do, just like this webinar. We're doing the webinar today. We had to pay, we pay Lindsay, we pay our team to promote the webinar, to get it up here and to do the work. So when you have someone that's dedicated to making sure that everything keeps moving, next thing you know, you're a provider, and that sets you apart from your competitors. And that makes the board members, who are many of them are retired engineers, retired lawyers, retired doctors, they're all about the education. And so when they see that, oh, this bid is one of these three, they're an education provider, and these are the courses, because that's what I would put in every single bid I would do. I would add to every bid that, hey, we're approved DBPR. And for those that don't know, and I'm sure that everyone here knows, it's the Department of Business and Professional Regulation, and it's the governing body of the CAM and management companies. So after the course is done, so we host the course for you, so you don't have to pay, $100 a month for a webinar, or sometimes we have over 500 attendees and we have to pay, I think, $250 for more than 500, something like that. We take care of the costs of Zoom. We take care of the costs of the marketing, and that's part of your investment. We take a little bit from everybody to pay for all this stuff. We get you scheduled once a month. You're added to the monthly newsletters and our social media, and we promote your business. And we get about 200 average CAMs to every course. Today, I think we had 254 last I looked. And after, this is where the more magic happens. So after, the database of who registered and who attended goes to you a couple days after the course. I put it together, send it to you, all the information that we gather, including their email addresses, and then attendees. We also include the county in which they're coming from, because this is a statewide program. You get all that information. So you can pay us to do follow-up, or you can follow up, but that's another pipeline for you to go out and get more business. Okay, next slide. We got 2 minutes left, guys. We like to keep things on schedule. So again, you build credibility, you reach decision makers, you get a database, you strengthen relationships with the current CAMs that you have, you generate qualified leads, and it is statewide. So for those businesses that have multiple divisions, you can take the cost and split it up. We also work with management companies where we get them to be the quote unquote white labeled provider. So we would work with them and their vendors to put on a webinar to their board members and to their CAMs, so that also is a way to really separate your management company from others. Both of us have worked with management companies, and we know how to really change the outreach program that you have, if you even have one at all. Okay, next slide. And the investment is $12.50 per month. We asked for a 4-month contract commitment. And the course creation is $250 per course, or 3 for $500. So if you want to take a picture of that, that information is probably what everybody was wanting to know. Most association allies cover the cost of our program, working with 1 to 5 CAMs throughout the year. So the point of all marketing is consistency and time. And we have seen great results from the vendors that we call association allies who work with us. They continue on after the 4 months. Most of them, we have a few for budget reasons that, can't keep going, but they also lose those opportunities because every single month when your name is in front of 31,000 board members and CAMs, when they're ready to, whatever industry you're in, when they're ready to contact an AC company, they're going to remember that they just saw you this morning in the Beyond the Boardroom newsletter. Anything to add, Lindsay?
No, I think that we are really excited for those of you that joined today to reach out to us. And we hope that you see the potential that this has to grow your business. And we've had, like Diane said, our vendors that allies that we work with have had a lot of success. And the CAMs have really gotten on board. We have more and more CAMs every month attend, and they're so thankful, and they do appreciate everything that the vendors that we work with do to provide them this education. So they're definitely on their list of vendors that they call on a regular basis when they need bids.
And they tell us that in the chat. Like,
Yes.
we'll have a presenter and somebody will say in chat, "Oh, I just used them last week." And we're like, "Oh, they didn't tell us that."
Yeah.
Guys, we're over time. If you have questions, put it into the chat. We'd be happy to answer any questions that you have. If you want some more detailed information on how we can help support your business, we can set up a private Zoom with you as well. If not, we have webinar Wednesday that we have to get ready for at 9:30. And again, if you want to see, the beginning of that program and how we interact with the vendors, we would appreciate you going on and logging on to the next one.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
No questions. All right, Lindsay, I'll see you in a
All right.
bit. Bye.